I've already been done this year.
Here we are. I haven't even started any work yet. Along comes Danny. It's like you can smell the kettle. Well, it's not a kettle, you know, the pump pot. Doug said, oh, no, before we start now, I fancy a cuppa. So we're going to have a cuppa. Along he comes down the pathway. Here he is. But I don't mind. I always enjoy having a chat with Danny and picking his brains, you know.
Oh, I don't know about that.
And we always have a right giggle, don't we, Danny? Put the wheels to right. We do. Hi, I'm Linda, and this is the Feel Good Garden. In fact, this is plot number 2 of the Feel Good Garden. Now, this is what we're going to be doing today. I'll let you know what I'm doing, and I'll tell you what Doug's in the middle of doing up there. So the plan today is to carry on doing the digging up the bindweed. If you remember in my last video, one of the videos, not the Christmas, oh yeah, was it the Christmas? Yeah, the Christmas one. I was pulling up the raspberries and they're still in a bucket. So I really need to get those in today because some of them have got buds on them. So I'm going to dig that, get rid of the bindweed and plant those up. Now Doug, there he is. Right, Doug's pulling up more bindweed and roots, probably roots of the mint, I think. He's having a bit of a job there. There's also some of that weed membrane there. I've already got rid of a load of that. And he's going to be barking along this path. So that's his plan for today. He wants to finish off that pathway. So that's Doug's job. And let me take you in a bit closer now to the raspberries. Right, there's a bucket of raspberries. And they've been lying there now for, well, since before Christmas. So I really need to get those in. And see, there's some little buds coming on these raspberry plants. So I really need to get those in today. This is looking an absolute tip. So I can't wait to get that down to the wood up there down to the tip and this sorted out. Just popping down the plot because it's been really windy lately, hasn't it? And blowing a gale, pouring down with rain. So I'm just checking on the polytunnel now. Oh God, look at that. Look at that polytunnel. And that is all flooded by there, the patio. The pond as well, it looks as if it ever overflowed. Maybe that's what's caused that. Well, thankfully Doug sorted out the polytunnel and he's just left that bit of zip open there so the wind, if it comes in, and then it can go out the back doors. The back doors are left wide open. So we've got some breeze blocks on there, the watering cans, and we've also got this window box put on there and another breeze block by there. So hopefully that'll hold the front down and stop that from blowing right back. Around the side, you've also put some more breeze blocks and bricks and a slab there. He's going to dig that down, try and dig it down a bit deeper. But I think that'll hold it for now anyway. And there's the back doors that are left open on the polytunnel. And if you can see there down in that corner, that's where he's left it open. So hopefully the theory is a little bit of wind will come in and come straight back out again rather than lift the polytunnel up completely and pull the cover back. So fingers crossed that'll work. Right, before I start that plan, these pots need removing and I'm going to put those at the top there ready for Doug to plant in that fruit bed. Doug's still working on the pathway there. And then what I'm going to do is level this off here. I'm not sure if you can see that, but it goes up in a tump there. And so I'm going to try and level that off. There's a little bit of a dip by there, so I'm going to put that soil there and then that'll level that off a bit. So anyway, that's the first job before I do the bindweed. Oh, there's more plastic in there, look. Oh. No, it's either bindweed or plastic, isn't it? Oh, Doug's having the same problem. It's either bindweed or plastic, or stones in this case. I forgot I put a load of bark down on then, so I mixed in with the dirt now, so never mind. It'll do a turn. And mixed in with the bindweed as well. Oh, while I think of it, let me show you this. Right, see this here? Doug cut this down the other day, these twigs, branches, from, there was an apple tree that was growing, but it was right up against the polytunnel. And Doug's cut it right back. Just wondering what we can do with these branches. Any ideas? Could I make a feature out of it or use it for something? It'd be a shame to cut it up into nothing, wouldn't it, really, and put it on compost heap when I could make something interesting from it, maybe. Just had a thought, this bark that I've come across that I dumped here earlier on, it was the pathway. I'm just going to chuck it over there on the pathway, and that's a little bit of a help for Doug then. Here goes. Bindweed. Weed membrane. Oh. Right, I've just come across some more of that metal stripping. So this is the plan. I've just spoken to Doug now, and this is the plan. So let me show you. Trying to level that off, I came across that metal bar. Now we don't know how far that's going in underneath there. I'm sure I'll soon find out. And there's also that one there that's bent up. This is where Doug repurposed the bars we'd already found. So the plan is now to go from here, from the slab by the shed, bark along by here, then we'll have a little bit of a step up and we'll have a bark there, and then we're going to put a pathway. So Doug's working on this pathway here, so we're going to continue that pathway, and that's going to go like an L shape. And we're going to carry on with the pathway, which will go along there next to raspberries, and I may put some strawberries there as well. So we'll have a pathway running along the side. So that's the plan anyway. Our little robin perched on the raspberries, the ones I'm going to plant. Oh, looking for some easy pickings. He looks nice and fat, mind, doesn't he? Always welcome on our plot, little robin. I've managed to pull up this metal bar. So that's one good job done. So need to move around the pile with the others. That's all ready to put bark on for a pathway. So let's make good use of those metal strips. Well, I do feel a sense of achievement. Even though it doesn't look as if I've done much, it has taken a lot of effort to shift that dirt. Since I last came down, the compost heap has dropped, oh, must be a good foot, I would say. So I've got plenty anyway to go on there. I've got plenty of scraps from the kitchen that I've been saving up and bags of leaves. So let's get on with putting those on the compost heap. I'm going to intermingle the kitchen scraps now with some leaves, and then I'll put some more kitchen scraps and then some more leaves. So these bags are biodegradable, but I've never put them on the compost heap, and even though they'll break down, I'm not sure I really want to. Do any of you put these bags just straight on the compost heap? Be interesting to find out. I'm glad I got gloves on. Ugh. They've been hanging around for ages. Now I've got an idea to keep the heat in. What do you think of this? Well, first of all, I think I'll put the polythene on there. My grandson had a television for Christmas, and I was going to put these out for the rubbish, but I thought, well, what great insulating for the compost heap. And they almost fit perfect, not quite, but still. Let's see if we can get them to, oops, a bit snapped off. There we are. Just put some bricks on there now to weigh it down. There we are. What do you think of that? Hopefully that'll keep the compost heap warm, and it'll break down quicker. Some more leaves for the leaf mould pile. There we are, we've got some comfrey coming through there, so I shall leave that there, dig around it, and then plant the raspberries. We've had a lovely bit of sunshine today, it's been really nice. I've only got a fraction done so far, and because with every spadeful, that's what I'm faced with as I turn it over, just piles of bindweed that I'm picking out. So I've only done that little bit, I was hoping to do more, and there's the bucket full of bindweed. My back's aching now, so I think I'll stop for now. Well, I was at home today and I was thinking I could do with a bowl for the shed to wash the cups in, because even though I swill them out using the pump pot and the water from this tap, it's a bit awkward. So I thought, what can I use as a bowl that I've already got in the house? And I had a genius idea. How about an empty sweet container? Or you could use one from your chocolates from Christmas and put it underneath the pump pot. There you got your hot water, or your cold water there, get it nice and warm, and there we are, there we go, wash your cups in lovely. We thought we'd kill two birds with one stone, so we've put all that old rotten wood there, save taking it to the tip, because that'll help bring the level up, and Doug's already been down to get some bark. And he's putting the bark on the top there now. So when that's done, that'll make a nice pathway along there, and we won't have to worry about getting rid of the wood. And it'll all rot down eventually and go back to nature, back to the soil. Might take a few years, but still, it'll happen one day. And there we go. I'm just going to tidy this bit here and level it off. Then I'm going to start planting the raspberry bushes. The thing is, I've come across now the roots of the grapevine, and I don't really want to disturb those, as you know, much anyway. I'll just get off the bits of bindweed that's around the roots, and then I'm going to start planting the raspberries. Oh, I got to rake it first, put in some bone meal, then plant the raspberries. Well, I've picked out as much bindweed as I could see. No doubt there'll be other bits and bobs left in there, but I've taken the bulk of it out. Fingers crossed, hopefully. So I'm just going to put some bone meal on now. The box had got quite damp in the shed, so I've opened it up a bit more and I've zhuzhed it round a bit. So let's add the bone meal now. A nice thick bit of it. The soil looks quite good though, really. It's not as clay as the rest of the allotment. Well, it's clay underneath, but it seems as if whoever had this plot before had put some good compost or something down there, because it's quite good. So we'll give it a good dollop of bone meal. I'll rake that in. Then I'll cut back the raspberries a bit, ready for planting. Before I dug these raspberries up, well, pulled up most of them, Danny had seen them and he thinks they're autumn flowering raspberries. I don't know for sure, so I'm going to hedge my bets and just cut, because there's a few buds on there, so I'm going to cut them back to, let's have a look. So if I cut that back to about there, I'm going to cut it back like that, and if they are autumn flowering raspberry, that's fine, but if they're not, at least there's a few buds on there. I might get a few raspberries off there. So I'll cut them all back to about that length. What's that, about 2 foot, something like that. So let's prepare all those and then I can plant them. There's quite a few here, and I could take some cuttings as well from the others. I might just plonk them in and see if they root. Well, the bone meal's been raked in. I've prepared all the raspberry cuttings ready to plant. Doug's been busy finishing off the bark pathways. We couldn't get the nice golden bark like we did last time, but never mind, it'll do. Right, time to start planting the raspberries now. I'm going to lay them out first, and then I'm going to plant them.
Know you've been a good friend, and that's in the thick and thin, and I know it's never gonna end, 'cause you've been a good friend.
Plenty of roots on that one. Well, I managed to plant 24 raspberries, so pulling up the bindweed as I went along, so I'm pleased with that. I'm Linda and this is plot 2 of the Feel Good Garden.